Hey guys, today we're covering Hell's Kitchen's favorite vigilante and our review on the much anticipated Daredevil Born Again. Let's get into
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I am your boy Juan G, and always with me.
it.
That's right. And as you said, we're back in Hell's Kitchen this time, covering episodes 1 and 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I say back because this is a continuation of the Netflix series.
Yeah, thank
I
God
wish
it
we
is.
were around. Yeah, I wish we were around when that show was airing because we would have covered the hell out of it, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm
Uh,
still open to doing
a
like a
recap of
coverage.
the
Yeah, like a
yeah,
recap
dude.
of
Yeah.
each
I
season, one episode kind of
uh
thing.
I would like to do that with our buddies, Film Addicts, and then maybe hopefully Tommy also get a big group of us and talk about the entire Daredevil just run.
That'd be nice.
I thought that'd be real because I know they absolutely love the Netflix series. I think it's Rex's favorite series as far as
I
Marvel
don't
goes.
Yeah, I think it's peak. I think it's the
Hmm.
best that we had seen in a very long time until
Yeah.
like WandaVision. Um and WandaVision, Loki. Those are really two
Dude,
banger of a series. But
Netflix did a really good job with their Marvel TV, dude. They did a
uh,
solid job.
I think
I
Luke
know a
Cage
lot of
was
people
solid.
say Iron Fist was a big letdown, and I
Season
think that's
one,
just because of the character. That character really a lot of people aren't familiar with. They don't know, and
I agree.
diehard
Yeah,
fans of Iron Fist
yeah.
just didn't like the actor, how it was portrayed. You're gonna get that, so it's like it is what it is. But shout out to any nerds out there that knew what I was doing in the intro. That was from Daredevil's little stunt with Jessica Jones's scarf in Defenders. I realized that my wife had a scarf that looked just like it. I was like, I'm gonna do that. but uh but yeah, so we're gonna dive into those two, and we are very excited to dive into those. But first we have a bit of nerd news to get into. All right, first thing first, happy Mario Day. So when we are filming this, it is March 10th, which is the official. Is it official or is it unofficial Mario Day?
It's official Mario Day.
Is it the official Mario Day? Cool. All
Mhm.
right. So it will have passed once you guys see this, but March 10th is Mario Day because MAR plus 10 looks like Mario. So shout out to any Mario fans. We are big Mario fans. We love playing Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart and Mario
Yeah.
Party.
Yes. We get down on those too. So that's a good time. You even went to a Mario Kart tournament, didn't you? At a bar?
Yeah, dude, and I got second
And
place twice.
yeah,
So
just
annoying.
trash. Um, yeah, you come back with a win or you don't come back,
I
sir. That's
know
good.
it sucks.
Uh, so other bit of news, some Star Wars news we have. Kathleen Kennedy will be leaving the Lucas. Is it still? It's still called Lucasfilms, right?
Yeah,
It's just it's not owned by him. Okay.
correct.
So she will be leaving Lucasfilm, and the top two contenders are buddies Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. If any of these two guys take it, it's going to be in great hands.
Yeah.
Some of the other contenders were Feige was one of them. Um, and then the other two didn't. I don't remember them because they didn't. I think one of the other ones was the actor's daughter. She directed some of the Mandalorian episodes. She was an
Yeah,
actress. Do you know who I'm talking about?
yeah. I can't think of her name at the moment, but I know who
Because I
I
know you're
know.
screaming at your screen right now. Type it in the
Yeah.
comments. Actually, I could just look it up. I forgot we have it here. Um, but yeah, she was another contender, and I don't think she'd be a bad person to fill in.
No.
Because
Once we
she's
figure out
heavy
what her
into
name
that.
was.
Yeah. She's heavy into that Star Wars world. She understands the lore and everything. So I think that'll be cool. I have it right here. There it goes. Oh no, I was wrong. Emma Watts was the person. J.J. Abrams or Hannah Minghella. Yeah, I don't know who those. I don't know who that is. J.J. Watts. I mean J.J. Watts. J.J. Abrams. J.J. Watts is a football player. J.J. Abrams. I wouldn't. I don't know
I don't
about
mind
that
it.
one honestly. I don't mind it, but I don't know. Just because a lot of people had issues with Force Awakens and he directed that.
Hmm.
I personally thought he did a good job with it. I don't, and I think he would have an appreciation of the Star Wars universe.
I think he would.
But I feel like he's the kind of guy that would steer it in his direction too much. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right,
just
but
the
that's
actor,
why.
the director in him.
Right, but I think that's the fresh take we need
Okay.
with with Dave Filoni and
Somebody more hands
John.
on is what you're saying?
Right. No, but we need the fresh take to come up with something new. We need to walk away from the Skywalker, and leave it alone.
We do. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah. Yeah.
don't mess with it.
Yeah.
It's great for what it was, and just leave it alone.
Yeah. I do agree. I think it's time for a new story. Yeah.
Right. And so that's where I think he would come in, but they would keep certain continuity, like John and John Favreau and what's the other guy? Dave Filoni would keep
Yeah.
um the
That
lure
kind of
intact.
storytelling. Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So I think if it's them three together, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
versus Kathleen Kennedy, she was very much in it's her way or the highway. Is kind of what it seemed
Okay.
like, and she had her own agenda on things, and I think yeah, I think it could work out for sure. But
Okay.
I'm game for my number one pick is John or Dave to take it,
Yep.
obviously. But if
Honestly,
it had
I
to be
would. My number one would be Filoni. Would be Dave Filoni, not John Favreau.
no, okay,
I think John Favreau would be a great number two, and because I still want him more on the like head showrunner aspect of
hmm,
things. I think Dave Filoni is great at the bigger picture. Like
right,
he was really involved in like Clone Wars and all that stuff, and he was big
right,
picture guy. So like I think that's where he shines, and I think Favreau is great at like this certain project. He's his mind is focused on that. He gets that done, and then he moves on. I think Dave's able to look at how's this going to fit here. How's this going to tell this? How you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's just my opinion on it. Other bit of Star Wars news. There is reports. I don't know how accurate this is, but of a mini live action Clone Wars
Oh, I've seen
is
that.
in the works. Yeah,
I'm
dude.
game for it.
Dude, fans will go ape shit for this. It'd be
Language.
so
Hmm.
good. It'd be really good. There's a lot to tell there.
Yeah.
But it does say mini, so I don't know how many they're talking, like a mini series or like 6 episode thing. I don't know. Um, Other bit of news. This is upsetting. Marvel has cut ties with Ryan Reynolds.
I'm not surprised.
But okay, but this is what's mainly pissing me off is it's probably because of the lawsuit his wife is involved in, and
Hmm.
that's pissing me off because Disney needs to stop being scared of legal issues outside of Disney. Like, dude, what the fuck? It's not even involving Ryan Reynolds, but just because his wife is tied to it, they're like, oh, let's stay away. What is that going to do to you guys? A lawsuit is not going to affect your guys' bottom line. Nobody is not going to see a movie. Like nobody is not going to go see a Deadpool movie because
The
he
diehards
was
aren't.
involved in a who?
The diehards are not. We're gonna like me and you. We're gonna go see the movie regardless. You know what I mean? But
Not
the
bull.
the
I call bull on
casual
that because
watchers,
there's not there for number one. There's not. What did Deadpool do over 1 billion? Those billions of fans aren't diehards. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. The diehards. Let me finish. So the diehards are
oh,
gonna go see. Me and you. We're gonna go
mhm,
see those movies regardless.
right,
It's the casual watchers. It's like you said, the $1 billion that they made. It's all the other viewers that are you know woke feminists, all the people that
the agenda
the
people,
yeah, huh?
the agenda people, the people
Right.
that have
Anyone
agendas and like, yeah,
exactly. Anyone that has an
yeah,
agenda that is offended by Justin Baldoni and by Blake Lively, whoever is telling the truth or whoever is lying or whatever nonsense is happening,
yeah,
that's what that's the issue right now. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And I don't see it getting any better. You know, it looks like more nonsense was kind of brought up, and
Yeah.
more things are coming to light, and it's
It's just so upsetting that Disney's just like, and as shady as Disney is, they shy away from anything legal. Like, dude, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to stay on this because I'm gonna get even just more riled up. Some
okay.
Harry Potter news. Let's go. Harry Potter series cast update as of right now. John Lithgow has been cast as Dumbledore. Uh, I'm a little, I don't want to say skeptical, but I'm kind of like cautious when it comes to this, only because I've only ever seen this guy do comedy stuff.
Hmm.
Whether he's going to bring that to this character, I doubt it, but it's hard for me to see him otherwise. So I
Yeah.
don't know how he's going to bring Dumbledore to life. You know what I'm saying? Especially, granted, we have had two Dumbledores, but uh,
Well,
actually
one passed
three.
away.
Three, yeah. One passed away, correct. We've had three. One was a young Dumbledore, but um, so I'm just I don't know what he's gonna bring to that character. So I'm anticipating that. But uh then we also have Janet McTeer is gonna be Professor McGonagall. And she actually looks like she could play a younger Maggie, I forget the last name of the actress who played Dumbledore. Rest in peace to her. Um, but she looks like she could play a younger her, so like it's pretty good casting with that. And then we have, forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong, but it's either like Paepa or Pepa is Isidu, I I believe, but it's an African American actor or African actor. He's playing Snape, and dude, here speaking of like the woke mom, and so many fans are pissed that this guy's been cast, and I'm like, here we go again with this, dude. It's 2025. Can we not get pissed about alternating like racial cast? Like, dude,
Yeah.
get over it. It's 2025. Like,
So I'm guessing this person is not a white male.
no, I said he's African or he's African American, one of the two.
Yeah.
You hear me say that?
I didn't know. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. So he's of, ethnic persuasion. So it's like anybody or a lot of people are upset about that. And I'm like, dude, come on. You're talking about fucking wizards, dude. They aren't real, and you're mad that a black guy is playing a wizard. Now, if you went and did a biopic and cast Martin Luther King as a white dude, then you get pissed.
Right. When they're fictional characters,
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want
people,
with them. Yeah.
they fake. He ain't really Wingardium Leviosoing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax
Well,
about it.
he's a Mr. He's always wanted to be the what's it called,
Dark
the
arts.
dark arts teacher of the dark arts,
Mm-hmm.
and then or
Now
professor
he's
of the
dark.
dark
Is that what you're
arts.
saying?
No, I was not going there with that joke. I was gonna just be more accurate on what he's not Wingardium Leviosa. Nothing. He is
He's the potions.
potions.
Oh,
He's the potions, and
well,
then
he's the potions master, but he was still using his wand. Remember when he faced off with the like duel battle on the
yeah, I know.
at the class? Yeah, he's still good with the wand. He could just fuck you up silently too with those potions. So yeah, so that's a bit of Star Wars, not Star Wars, Harry Potter news, and I'm excited about that series, man. I cannot wait till it comes out because I really want to cover it. So, what I'm guessing this series is gonna do is cover. So that's gonna have. They want to do 7 seasons to cover each book, and it's having the first season's having a runtime of 8 hours. So it's
Hmm.
looking like maybe 8 episodes, at an hour a piece. And the reason I'm looking forward to this, especially because from what I've heard in talking to other Harry Potter fans, is a lot of them aren't upset, but they're like a tiny bit disappointed in that not in that a lot of the book wasn't in the movies. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, to be fair, that's a giant book, and there isn't a lot to
Ginormous
tell.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, and there isn't a lot you can fit into a movie. So they're going to highlight the main stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
The one that carries in the story. So I'm really excited to see this because I think they're going to be able to include more of the book in the television series.
I mean, I haven't seen any property of Harry Potter made that I disliked.
Oh, okay, okay,
So I don't have.
yeah.
I mean, oh well. If people don't like it, people don't like it. It's just
Beats are great. Yeah, the Harry Potter,
because
every
there's
movie.
not so many versions of it made. And excuse me, made in like in any type of film, other
Mhm.
than the films that we have. I don't see. I mean, there's not really been like an animated show
Yeah,
that I'm aware of. So like for me, I'm not emotionally tied so much to certain characters. I'm open to seeing
yeah,
different iterations. That's why I love comics because there's like
yeah,
four different storylines, main
yeah,
storylines that Cap, lives through, outside of the millions of side stories that happen. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
like
It's I agree.
that's why
I
I'm
agree.
like, okay, cool. Just bring out another version of it, even if they
Hmm.
change it up, or if they get closer to the source material. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna be
Yeah,
like, oh, it's too much like the book. It's not like the movie. I'm like, well, clearly
yeah,
you're a dumbass. You need to read the book. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, so we're
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be upset no matter what. So it is what
Yeah,
it
for
is.
sure. You can't please everybody, but the
This
fandom is still there, and if anything, it's stronger now, dude. Because you have generations that are just learning of
I
Harry
hope
Potter and are watching it.
my kids
No,
don't
it
like
is.
Harry Potter.
My well, it I know it is because my wife and I watched. They have a Harry Potter baking show that
Yeah,
the twins are
yeah,
the host, and Fred and George, right, are the names, I think.
yeah, yeah.
They're the host, and they've had, bakers are like, I watch this with my kids love it, this and that. So it's like carrying on through generations, just the same way Star Wars did. It's a big cult phenomenon.
Yeah, I think it's more
Um,
family oriented than
mhm.
Star Wars is because it's
Yeah, oh,
more of
for
a
sure. Yeah,
more of the science fiction
yeah.
lure.
Mhm.
But
It's more
I don't
fantasy,
know.
yeah.
I just don't. I don't think it's huge. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying
Mhm,
it at all.
mhm.
It's just not on that level of Star Wars.
No, I didn't say it's the level Star Wars. I said it's a cult follow. It has a big cult following like Star
Yes,
Wars. Yeah.
fair.
So
Okay.
last bit of news. So I don't know if Blade is necessarily dead and buried, dude, because John Wick director says that he's I forgot to mention his name. But he says that he considers Feige a mentor, and that in talks he confirmed Blade talks and says that of all things out there, he would love to take a swing at a Blade, and that he would do it in a second.
Yeah, you're talking about
Um,
Chad
yeah, do you have his name?
Stahelski.
Is that it?
Stahelski. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Stahelski. Yeah, Chad
Yes.
Stahelski. Yeah. So he thought. I mean, I don't know, dude. Is this
Well, they
maybe not
said.
dead? They just took it off the current list so that they can get it
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
and
I
they
don't
have
think they're
stopped
gonna
having
do.
fans.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do a Blade movie first. I think they're gonna do
Okay.
Midnight Suns first.
Okay.
They'll do
Yeah, we
Midnight
talked about
Suns.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My only question was, do you think it's not dead like fans are
No,
thinking?
because it's
It's
dead
too
for
big of a
now.
property. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too big for them to snooze on it. With the
Yeah.
success that the first three films had, I don't see them not doing this again. You know what I
Especially
mean?
with Blade having that cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody fucking went crazy for that.
Yeah, and also the cameo or the voice of our Blade right now that showed up in the end of Eternals. So like it's there.
Yeah.
The groundwork
Yeah.
has been laid. You know what I mean? They just
Yeah.
got to start building
Yeah.
this foundation now. So we'll see.
All right.
Uh,
Yep.
I'm optimistic, and I know it might be 8 years from now. Excuse me, but
That's it.
I'll wait the
Run
eight
that
years.
back. What did you say? It might be 8 years from now. Is that what you said?
Yeah, but oh well, I'll
Okay.
wait.
Yep.
So
All right. Well, I mean, that's all we got for nerd news.
hey yo, ooh,
You want to make sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to keep up with the latest in their news. All right, let's get into the good stuff here. Yeah, in case you guys seen, these are fully functioning. This isn't your Target brand shit. This is fully functioning billy clubs, people. Like, this is the real deal. If you could, this is like full on. Kika, you've held this, right?
Yeah, they're
It's
pretty
full
cool.
on. They're full on. Like I could hurt guys. I could be Daredevil. I just need sticks to come train me and find some superhero nuclear waste to get me going.
Mm.
But I'm ready. Just
Me
don't
and
tell
you are
anybody I'm
old.
Daredevil.
You have a bad foot and knee, don't you?
Not as bad as your knee.
Well, it'll be better. No, it'll be better.
We hope so. Did they put vibranium or adamantium in it? I forget which one.
Told you it's proto adamantium.
Proto adamantium. That's what it was. All
Mm.
right, so we'll see. We'll see.
Mm.
But yeah, so those cost me a pretty penny, so I wanted to make sure you guys saw that shit. That was definitely one of my
Next
biggest
time
purchases of
we
gear.
cover the next 2 episodes, I'll have a surprise. I'll have a little something you'll see.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited. He's gonna have a full on cosplay costume. He's gonna be like,
Um,
yeah. No, okay. So yeah, let's get into this, man. Episode freaking number 1.
what a
I'm so glad the
freaking
show is back.
episode.
I mean,
What a way to
dude.
start an episode. Jesus
Wait
Christ.
a can we just talk about for a second the damn first 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Were insane, dude. So we all expected, or we all kind of knew that they were gonna die. That
Well,
somebody was gonna, one of the two or both were gonna die.
yeah. Okay, fair point. Yeah.
We, I don't know if we knew that. I don't know if like somebody had confirmation of that shit, or if people were saying that that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the first 15, they got right into it, dude.
And then
There was no build up.
Yeah.
Right in. They're like, listen, this is happening. Fucking embrace it and just go with it. Just hear us out. Yeah, that man, it was exciting. It was an emotional roller coaster. I was curious as to why do you think they had Daredevil CGI'd so much during that fight? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He was CGI'd a lot
No,
for parts that I didn't feel like he needed to be.
Yeah.
Like he just did a jump kick. I'm like, bro, Charlie Cox can do that. He trained MMA for Daredevil. Like he can jump and kick. You know what I'm saying?
It was a stunt double doing that.
Not yeah, but Charlie Cox does some of his stunts.
Some.
He just
But
doesn't do the big flips and all that shit. But he'll jump and kick in a scene. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, it was great. It was great to see. Now, Foggy does die. You know, uh the episode opens up with Matt, Foggy, and Karen closing the law office, and you know everything's all happy and smiley, which should have been our first fucking clue. The shit's about to go down because they're
Yeah.
all laughing it up and having a good old time. Nobody laughs and has a good time in Hell's Kitchen.
And Foggy and Karen were brought back on during reshoots. So originally they
Mhm.
weren't part of it. And
Yeah,
this was
during the
supposed to
first
go.
stages,
Say it again.
they weren't involved. Yeah,
Correct. And then they came back in reshoots, and the original storyline that this wasn't going to be a continuation from the Netflix series,
yeah.
and then this was supposed to be a total different version of this, not anything to do with Daredevil Born Again.
We weren't even gonna see Matt in the Daredevil costume until episode 4. And Feige's like, "No, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Let's redo this." He
Right.
fired both writers and the director.
Yeah. And on top of that, they are um they were gonna do the more comic book accurate of Daredevil being kind of I would say like Spider-Man-esque of the in the fact that he's very comical, he's very funny and goofy, still a ladies man, you know, and I'm surprised that that's the route that they wanted to go. And they're like,
Yeah,
and that's like you said, Kevin stepped in and he's like, no, we need the same Daredevil that was in that one. That's the one
yeah.
that worked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree.
So,
It worked.
yeah. So at the bar, Karen suggests her and Matt should get out of here, hinting that they still kind of have a sexual relationship, which is weird.
You think so?
I was just like, but when we last left them, that was nowhere Like that wasn't anything. You know what I mean?
No, they had a
They
fling.
they had a fling, but when we last left them, that they were far apart. They were far away from that. You
Yeah.
might have to go back and rewatch that, but they were
A
far
lot
away
has
from that kind of
a lot of
relationship.
time has changed. A whole blip has happened. They
That's what I'm
actually have
saying.
their own
So like
progress.
you're saying, I
They
guess they're trying to
rekindled it.
hint that they revisited that a little bit. But
Yeah.
then Matt shut that down. He's like, I don't think that falls into the guidelines of friends and blah blah blah.
So you were
I'm
saying that
thinking I'm thinking the liquor was flowing a little bit with Karen. She was feeling a little randy, and that's why she alluded to that. But then we see, so we have three different conversations happening. Matt and Karen are at a table at the bar.
Mhm.
Foggy is at the bar, like at the actual bar, talking to someone, to a fellow lawyer, and uh we have another conversation of two characters that we were just being introduced to.
Cherry
One
and I don't
Sherry
know.
and
I don't
is
remember the
it
girl's name.
Cherry? Right?
Cherry's
Yeah, I don't
the
know
guy.
the guy. I don't know who she is. I don't even remember her name. Uh, so there's three separate conversations happening. And then Foggy and Kirsten, who is the other lawyer, are talking at the bar, and then Foggy calls their law firm MN and P, and Matt hears that and tells Karen. They have a laugh about that. And then Foggy takes a phone call outside, and Matt uses his focus hearing on to hear the phone call, and then hears that something's wrong. He tells Karen that he's
Yeah.
like something's wrong. Then they go outside, and then Foggy is telling him that what's going on, that he stashed a client, Benny, after something that happened in Red Hook. And Red Hook was mentioned twice in this episode. Do you
Mhm.
think that is going to play into the rest of the season? Do you think a storyline is there?
Yeah, maybe that's where what's the villain's name? Moose or Muse? Muse?
Okay.
Maybe that's where he's from.
Okay. Do you think that Matt is going to look into the case after what happened to Foggy? So do you think he's gonna like kind of go to Red Hook and find out what's going on and why they're after Benny? And because I gotta imagine that's why Bullseye took Foggy out, right?
No. I don't think that case had anything to do
With Bullseye?
with Bullseye. He Bullseye knew that Foggy had somebody in protection and used that to his advantage. That was
Well,
most
then
people
it does
that
have to
what
do
I
with that.
see. No. So the
You
case
just said
itself,
it. Yeah.
has nothing to do with Bullseye. Bullseye just took advantage of the opportunity because Foggy had somebody in like protection, and then
That
just
but that's what well, that does involve Bullseye. The case does involve Bullseye because Bullseye is after somebody in that case. He's
no,
not involved in he's not in the case itself, but he's after somebody in that lawsuit. So he's essentially a hitman for the defendant in that lawsuit, is
no,
what we're saying, right?
no.
Oh,
He just used him as an in to find out where they're at because he knew that Foggy, if he this guy called Foggy, Foggy was going to answer. He just used him
right.
as a pawn. So
Used who as a pawn?
the Benny, the
Benny?
guy that
He
yeah.
used Benny as a pawn to find Foggy?
Once Benny was in protective custody or in protect and like in stashed away or whatever the way Foggy
Yeah.
said it, that had that whole thing. Otherwise, we would have seen more about it now. I don't see it being an issue, and I don't think because Karen says that. Well, we find out in episode 2 that maybe no, it's episode 1. Karen says that he was gone for like weeks and she couldn't talk to him, and then finally, he started like reaching out. So like her friend had died too. So I think he investigated it and nothing came up. Like it was just a
You don't
maniac.
think that they're gonna build to that later, and that's why this happened right now? So because they're gonna build to it?
No, because he's not the villain.
Who's not the villain? Bullseye?
Yeah. He's not the villain of the
Okay.
series. We're
Okay.
not going to see him again.
So you're saying this was just to say goodbye to Bullseye?
Well, we're not going to see him this episode or this season. I know he's going to jail. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He easily could be broken out or does break out on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see him this season, and I don't think this was
All right. Well,
to pick up where it left off. Because season
okay.
3 ended with him getting surgery. In the comics, it's actually proto adamantium that he gets put into his skeleton and his spine.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And so when he
Uh-huh.
fell, when he got thrown off the
So
roof,
he had the surgery you got.
yeah, you saw his face was cut, and there's like some silver
Yeah.
across his face. So
I didn't see the silver.
his bone structures must have been entirely of the proto adamantium, or originally they
Mm.
called it some other metal in that series, but maybe they'll retcon it and change it to being the proto adamantium, and that's what
Yeah.
absorbed the fall, and that's why he was able to survive it.
Oh, because see, that's what I was going to ask you later when we got to that. Like, how the hell is this guy still alive? Okay, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
because of the surgery that he had.
Okay, that's I actually totally forgot about the surgery. To be honest. Okay, so then let me ask you this, not to get too far, but why do you think? Do you think he killed Foggy just as payback for Daredevil?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay, all right. Let's just move on from that. So oh, so we then see Matt after he hears the call. We see Matt put on the Daredevil costume or suit.
Yeah.
He puts on the suit, looking great. It's a new suit too, right?
Yeah.
From we last seen. Oh yeah, because it's not the last suit we saw was the red and yellow by
Hmm.
Lucas Jacobs. So this is another suit I'm guessing that Luke made for him. But so while he's making his way to Benny, we see Bullseye lining up a shot, and then it cuts to Foggy and Karen, and then Foggy just gets shot. Boom,
Boom.
right in the back.
No, in the chest.
No, from the chest. Sorry, from the chest. Yeah, you're
From the
right.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
He gets
and then
shot
two
like
detectives.
basically almost right in the heart.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Bullseye. He's gonna shoot you right. He's gonna give you a kill shot. Yeah.
mhm.
And then two detectives come out and get shot.
Brains blown out
Fast. Yeah, just
immediately.
mm-hmm. And then Bullseye shows up and is about to kill Karen, and then Daredevil swings in and kicks him through the window of the bar.
Hmm.
And then here we go. We get our first action sequence. Big fight scene happens. Daredevil gets stabbed so many times in this fucking fight, and
Yeah.
they're all
Well,
just
I
sticking out
wouldn't
of him.
say stabbed because stabbing is the action of grabbing a knife and putting it into somebody.
Incorrect. Incorrect. A knife goes through him. It's a stabbing, whether you throw it or
I'm pretty sure.
impaled.
I don't think impaled is the same thing too.
Impaled is. Are you gonna look up the definition of stabbing?
Yeah. Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. uh yeah, so throughout the fight, Daredevil uses his focus hearing to check on Foggy, which I thought was a really cool thing that they did. So like because he's able to check and he's listening to his heartbeat, isn't he?
Oh
He's
my god.
listening to his
Yes.
heartbeat
The
and
whole time
Karen.
he's listening to both their heartbeats, yes, but really more
Yeah, dude.
Foggy, and it's like
Yeah, he's more checking
slowly,
on Foggy. Doom doom.
slowly
Doom doom.
slowing down
Yeah,
and
dude, it was
slowing
so
down.
good. I loved it. It was so good. Such a good direction to do.
So when a
And
knife is
then
thrown at you, it is called an impalement.
I see. So I was right. Impalement on the second part.
Well, impaled is when the impaled is when and you fall onto it. You're impaled.
Incorrect, because impalement. So impaled is the past tense of impalement. You were impaled with a object. It would that's why I said impaled, because he was stabbed or was in the already.
Bruh.
So then on the roof they continue, they're fighting up like in the barn, and they go up levels and they get to the roof, and then on they fight, and then on Daredevil's pretty much he's beating Bullseye. Bullseye's like groggy, and then Foggy dies in Karen's hands. And then when Daredevil hears, I guess, that his heartbeat stopped, he like yells out, and he's really distraught. And then he fucking throws Bullseye off the roof.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was legitimately shocked when he did that.
No, when he kept saying why and he was hitting him and he's like,
Yeah.
why? Because
You
he knew
saw
he was
him
gonna
doing that?
die. And
Yeah.
then because Bullseye was like laughing. he was smiling,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and I was like, oh, he's gonna kill him.
No,
He's gonna.
not me. I thought he was going to like probably kill him there, but when he threw him off, I was legit. I was like, whoa! I was like, holy
No,
shit, he did it! I was like,
no,
oh
I
damn!
knew he was gonna kill him. I knew
I
he was.
I wasn't surprised at the act of him killing him. I was surprised that he threw him off the fucking roof. That's what I was shocked at. I was like, oh shit, he actually
He
tossed him off
killed
the roof.
Foggy. He killed
Yeah,
Foggy. What do
no,
you expect? You
dude,
know?
I'm not saying anything to the fact that he killed him. I was just surprised at how he did it. And then I think Karen at first thought it was Daredevil
That's
that
what I thought
landed
too.
because she slowly looked like she didn't want to see that it was him. And I also thought that because as she's turning, she's like, "Oh, please, please, God, no, no!" And then she looks and then sees that
Yeah.
it's him. She's like, "Oh, thank God!" And then she goes back to like dealing with Foggy. She's like, "Oh,
He's
fuck,
like,
it's
oh,
just
it's
him."
just this
All right.
asshole.
Yeah, she's like, "Fuck yeah!" She probably would have been like, "Yes." But yeah. And then while on the roof, Matt takes his mask off, you know, while he's crying and just out of it. And then Cherry shows up on the roof and sees him in the suit. And then Matt drops the mask off the roof and it falls and then just leads into the intro. Which I thought was, oh no, it
Well,
falls and then we see
Cherry goes, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Bullseye fucking turn his head. And I'm like, how the fuck is this dude alive? I totally forgot about the surgery, so that makes sense. Even Christina's like, what the fuck? How? But it was crazy. And then the show picks back up after the intro. The show takes place 1 year later in Matt's apartment while he's getting ready. He grabs what looks like an anniversary memorial service for Foggy.
Probably.
I couldn't tell because it was in Braille, so
Or it was probably
we
just a
couldn't read
card from the
memorial service, and then he just keeps
Yeah.
it with him,
Yeah.
right, from the funeral or something.
I feel like he carries it everywhere.
Probably, yeah. That's a good call. It's probably that because we didn't see him go to a service. That you're probably right, and it looks like those funeral cards. It
Right.
really does.
And we haven't seen a grave yet. He hasn't gone to visit the grave.
So I'm glad you brought that up. There are theories out there that Foggy faked his own death and is not dead. And he's also confirmed to be, him and Karen are confirmed to be in season 2. Now,
Correct.
we were thinking flashbacks, that's how they're going to do it, which is totally understandable. It's feasible. But there is a comic line that Foggy fakes his own death. And I bring that up because
he's faked his death twice in 2 different comic lines. And he's died for sure once. Yes.
Oh, okay. So I bring that up because when they leave in the opening scene, when they leave their law office, the address next door, I believe, is 468. I thought I wrote it down. Is it? Yeah, 468 next to their law firm. That's the address. That is the comic issue number that he faked his own death in. Do you think that's an Easter egg?
Possibly. So, well, you're talking about in the Devil's Reigns? The Devil's
I believe
Reigns
so.
crossover?
It was the comic issue number 468. Yeah.
I mean, Marvel's known for doing shit like that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, it could be that they just dropped that as a connection to Foggy's death is in that comic run.
What was that issue number?
That could 468. We then see some gangsters at a meeting, and then Vanessa Fish shows up and starts to run the meeting. And then as they discuss business, Wilson Fish shows up, and then everybody leaves without a word. And then we notice here he slimmed down a little bit. And which they bring up. No, not Foggy, Fisk.
Oh yeah.
And they say it's due to his recovery from what I assume is the events of like Hawkeye and being shot by Echo. Which confuses me because why didn't we see him slimmer during the Echo show then? Because that happened after the shooting. That's
well,
me.
He's later on we find out that he was in he was healing when he went to therapy. He went away and Vanessa can be part of the whole situation. So
maybe it was just like a physical transformation type of healing where he just worked on his body.
Okay. Well, yeah, and also with whatever Echo did with her powers to make make him like realize himself.
Oh, that's right. She did do that. That's right. Okay. So then he and Vanessa talk, and she asks, "Is he back to take over?" And he says, "No, he's going to step away, and anything he is involved in can't be perceived as illegal." He says he has a 25,000 signatures to run for mayor. We then see the guerrilla style reporting called the BB report, and they are being asked questions about the city, uh, which is a way for us to know that Matt hasn't been Daredevil for a year since Foggy's death.
And he's doing
and I
it
was,
in honor of Foggy, because Foggy was
yeah,
keeping
we
that
find out later.
witness
Mm-hmm.
safe. Because I didn't tell Matt because he didn't want Matt.
He didn't want Matt to have to suit up. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
And I
which is
get
really
it.
sweet. Yeah, it was really sweet of Foggy still looking out for him. He didn't want to add to his dilemma of, the
Yeah. So
Daredevil battle
I
in his
found the
head.
comic cover. It's called The Daredevil Man Without Fear,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's not the one I thought it was.
Oh, okay. So Matt turns out he was getting ready to testify at Bullseye's trial on behalf of Foggy, and Bullseye is found guilty on 11 counts of murder in the first degree. So he killed 11 people that night.
Nuts.
Yeah. Karen and Matt talk outside the courtroom. She tells him that San Francisco is nice. So she's left New York. And a friend brought this up to me, and I thought it was a really cool theory. Do you think she is working with or for Jen Walters in San Francisco? Because she does have a connection through Matt. And maybe
Nah.
Matt has set her up with the law firm or set her to get in contact with Jen, and Jen helped her find a law job out there.
Nah.
You don't think she knows Jen Walters at all?
Nah.
Living in San Francisco?
Nah.
What?
I don't. For what? Why would he connect two flames together?
Why the fuck wouldn't he? They're friends. They're flings. So what? They're still friends. They're colleagues in the law world. I don't see this as a far-fetched theory. I think that I actually thought it was kind of a cool theory that he would connect her. Because, all right, that aside, why out of all the towns in this big earth did they say San Francisco, where another show has already been established in? You know what I'm saying? Whether they tie it directly into like Jen Walters and blah blah blah, maybe they're just saying that because Daredevil has been to San Fran and been out there.
Maybe.
But yeah, I just thought that was a cool theory. I wanted to throw that out there in case it does happen. You heard it here first. Karen asked about what he's going to do about being Daredevil, and Matt says he made a promise to himself and that he was going to let the system work. Basically saying he's only going to be a lawyer and that he's not him anymore, meaning Daredevil.
Right.
So while cooking dinner, he hears Fisk on the radio, and he hears him making his announcement to run for mayor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears it over a radio that's not even, like, I'm guessing a car radio.
Yeah, some dude flying.
It was
going
nowhere
by.
near him. Yeah, and while he was cooking. So then Fisk meets with his campaign team, and a young guy, Daniel Blake, on his team says Fisk is going to win and that everyone is watching him on social media. Fisk seems to like him and what he's saying, and then he asks the young guy, he goes, "Well, you're young. Why would you vote for me?" And he's like, "Well, straight up, you get shit done." And then Fisk likes that. He's like, "Okay." He goes, "All right." Which I got to say, it's not a bad campaign slogan to run on. I can't say that I wouldn't vote for somebody saying, I'm going to get shit done, and there's actual like evidence of that. I get why people are voting for him, that he gets shit done.
Like what?
People know in his Kingpin days,
Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
that when he wanted something done, he got shit done. They know that.
But he was a criminal.
No, he's running. Yeah, I know. So everybody who voted, some people voted for him because he was Kingpin. let's just be real. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I
I
think
would
that's a
tread
cool.
lightly on explaining that. This is given our political climate that we live in right now.
Oh no, I'm getting there. That's why I say that. So then Matt's partner is his new law firm. In his new law firm, he partnered with what was it, Kirsten, right? And she asked him to take a meeting with a doctor therapist for her not knowing
It was
it's
a blind
actually a
date.
blind date setup,
Yeah,
which was kind of shady, dude. It's kind of bogus a little
it's
bit,
kind of
but
cool.
it was because she knew that's the only way he was gonna take that meeting, that date.
Right.
Matt being Matt. So it wound up being a cute date. They
Yeah.
were like, after they realized what it was, Matt was kind of rude about it, but
At
he was like,
first,
oh,
yeah.
this is a huge waste of time. And she's like, yo, dick, like it happened to me too. What the fuck? He's like, no, that's what I'm saying. He's like, that's what I mean. It's like such a waste of time for you. Like, I'm sorry. But then after he put the shock aside, they sat down. He wind up talking, and like you said, he's a ladies' man, so this man knows how to talk to women.
Yeah.
He got her to lower her defense for a second.
Well, he's
and
a
then
lawyer. He knows how to talk to people. Period.
No, he knows how to plead his case and argue. Doesn't mean he knows how to talk to women, because there are plenty of lawyers that don't get ass. Let's just be real.
I don't know a single lawyer that doesn't get
How many
women.
lawyers do you know, sir?
Every lawyer I've met is well off and has women, plural,
Okay,
or has a
no,
woman.
That's two different arguments. Having money and being a lawyer gets you women, but doesn't mean you can talk to them.
Mm,
That's two different things. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever met a lawyer that wasn't full of themselves and isn't like a player.
Oh, that's for sure. That's full of themselves for sure. But anyway, so his hearing's so powerful, he can hear people's original accents. That's insane.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He heard
Hey, you're
her
from the Bronx,
that
right?
she was from Queens.
Oh, Queens,
She
Queens,
could,
Queens.
yeah, because she was like fighting the A's or the O's or some shit. I was just like,
Yeah.
dude, what?
It's a blind trick. I'm like,
Yeah, it's kind of a useless superpower, but all right. So then back at his office, Cherry meets up with Matt, and Matt has had him look into Fisk and his like financials to see if it was dirty money that funded his campaign or not. And Sherry's like, nah, dude, this dude's clean. It's all legit money. It's all good. He's like, he has a legitimate campaign going. And then Matt's like, well, if because the BB report is asking people, well, before that, Matt says, well, if he is voted for mayor, maybe this is what the city deserves. Maybe he's the mayor the city deserves.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, Matt's pissed.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's I don't want to get political, but it's the same situation with like the people that were like that voted for the knucklehead
we have to kind of get political, because that's what this season is. That's what this show is right now. It's a political. It's, whether we want to admit it, it's a political show right now. It's about him in his mayoral campaign.
I agree.
So we have to. We're not gonna spew our political opinions, but we're just gonna state, what's happening and the truth about politics right now. But go ahead.
Right. But like, so this was obviously shot before the last year's election and
Yeah.
for this guy. So all this has been in place for a while.
They probably knew what was going to happen,
with
though.
that, like, no, I don't think they knew it was going to happen. But with it happening, like, they don't, like, all the people that voted for this guy and then are like, oh, I didn't think I was going to be the type of people targeted and deported and that got pulled over and, all the ICE raids that are happening. Like, what did you expect? Come on. What do you mean? I thought he was going to go. No, it's everybody that looks like that.
Yeah, I saw the reel of like multiple people back to back, like, I made a mistake. But yeah, what'd you fucking think? We were trying to tell you, you didn't want to listen. You were up his ass and you didn't want to listen to us. So now you got to deal with it. I'll like
And
have
that's
fun saying goodbye
exactly
to your
what's
family.
going to happen with Fisk. He's going to get
Yeah.
exploited. I mean, he's already in episode 2. He gets away into his goofy things that he starts doing. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, it's just
Yeah. So the BB report. Well, because that's why I'm glad you brought it up, because the BB report asked people if they would vote for Fisk, and one lady was like, "That kind of man brings out the worst in people," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's literally who a lot of people here voted for. That kind of man literally brings out the worst. He literally made an enemy out of an ally on live television, or like in a live interview. Like what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that's literally what's happening to us. But yeah. So then Matt goes to meet with Fisk and surprises him outside of his building. And then we get that scene that we saw in the trailer. And this was my favorite scene of the episode. This is a really good scene. So the first thing he says is he comments on his step being lighter, and that he's lost some weight and gained muscle. And then Fisk is like, "I'm not gonna spar with you." And Matt's like, "No, that's not why I was saying that." And then Fisk says, "It's not entirely awful seeing you again," which is they're playing nice as far as the beginning of the meeting. And then Matt makes a remark regarding Echo shooting him in the face, so we know that he knows that happened.
Yeah, he's like, because Kingpin goes, do you have kids? He's like, no. He's like, He's like, I mentored someone once, and then it goes. So I was like, yeah, didn't they shoot you in the face? And didn't they shoot you in the eye?
Didn't she end up shooting in the face? Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Kids these days, what are you gonna do? This younger generation, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. He doesn't do well with young women because he got shot by one in the face. The other one blew him up with fucking super arrows. So like,
Oh, for real.
The 18 to 25 female demographic was not voting for him. He was losing that vote. He was losing that vote. So yeah. So then they both remark about like how well they both seem to be doing. Again, just getting the niceties out of the way. And then this scene, what I really liked about it is that it seems to be starting off, or to show them starting off on different paths for both of these characters from we last saw them, and whether they stay on that path is yet to be seen, and that will play out further into this season. So then Matt asks why he's trying to be the mayor and why can he feel that he's trying to game the system. And then Fisk talks about rich men are like do things for themselves, but a mayor serves his city.
Yeah,
and that he's a new man, and that's what he wants to do. So Fisk he turns the tables onto Matt. He's like, "Well, why aren't you a vigilante anymore?" And then he tells him about Foggy dying and that he made a promise. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that, and then Fisk said, I had nothing to do with that. I kept my promise. And then he goes, which I think Matt believes him. I don't think he suspects Kingpin of that at all.
It doesn't necessarily mean Vanessa didn't make the hit.
Very true. Very, very true. So
because she made the hit originally before.
Correct. But Fisk isn't lying and saying he had nothing to do with that. So
right. And that was the reason he kept that promise, was because Matt said that he would go after Vanessa because he knew Vanessa was the one that put the hit out that sent Bullseye out.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Phil Wilson in season 3. So he's like, you step out of line, that's it. I'm snitching. Your wife is going to jail.
Yeah. So then Matt says, and this is, I really like this dialogue from Charlie Cox. Well, Matt Murdock on this part. He says he was raised to believe in grace, that we can be touched by the divine and transformed into a better person. So if Fisk says to him he's a new man, he says fine. But he was also raised to believe in retribution. So if Fisk steps out of line, he will be there. And I'm like, you fucking tell him, Matt Murdock. Like, you let him know business. I don't care what office you're in. I will fucking come for your ass. So then Fisk asks the caution he is giving him. He goes, "Who's it from? Matt Murdock?" And then he just leaves it.
Mhm.
which I like that Fist never calls him Daredevil. He never
Right.
says it out loud, because he knows that they're in public, blah blah blah. So like, I like that he never says it. It's a cool little like writing. I like that. So he pokes at Matt, saying Matt liked being on that rooftop with Bullseye, and that he liked dispensing justice, and cautions him that when he's mayor, he's gonna come down on people wearing masks and costumes and running around. And so he basically throws that caution back at Matt, like, yo, when I become mayor, he goes, don't think about doing what you're doing before with that mask. So he throws it back at him. So yeah, man, I really love this scene. I thought it was the best scene of the episode. I think it set the tone for the season to come.
Yeah.
And I like that, them two had this meeting and kind of like retouch base, if you will, with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have
Eh,
any issues with the episode so far. Any episodes. I think it's only going to get better.
Mhm.
Episode 1 came in at an 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb,
Yeah.
and then an 8.6 for episode 2. Like it's
Well.
there. I don't think any episode is going to be under an 8.
Yeah. So then after that, we just see that, back at his campaign headquarters, they're celebrating. Well, actually, we now know that Matt and the doctor are dating now. They had a dinner date. They went on a date and they're arm in
Yeah,
arm
that's
with
cute.
each other. And then that's where he hears that Fist
Well, they went
going,
on a second date.
right,
They went on a
which
dinner
is
date.
the dinner
He
date.
makes
Yeah.
a joke saying that, like, oh well,
You're a bad coffee date, but you're a great dinner date. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. So that's why I said they're dating now. What looks like, and they're very much into each other. But then we see back at his campaign headquarters, he's celebrating, and him and his wife share a little look from the distance from across the room. And then they go up to the roof, and he tells her that he knows about her affair. And she says, please don't kill him. And he's like, I'm not that man anymore. And he probably kind of understood why she did that, because he was away and gone. So, you don't have really too much of a leg to stand on to be like, why are you cheating? Like, dude, you were gone. Still messed up nonetheless, but you're out here doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I have a question for you. I have a couple questions for you. With this episode, do you think Foggy's death has anything to do with why his co-worker set him up with that therapist?
Yeah, I'm sure she knew.
What it was doing to Matt?
Yeah, and that like, he had no social life, and I'm sure she knew that Karen and him had a thing, and she's not in his life right now. So he lost one of his only other friends and possible love interest. Not that he can't go out and just find some girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she was just trying to be a
You say
partner.
love interest being Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he lost a close friend and a love interest. And I think that's just her looking out for him, that's her boy, to just wingman them basically.
So in the last shots of this episode, we see Matt on the streets, and then he uses that focus hearing and he hears people screaming for help, but then he does nothing. And then I was going to ask you if you noticed that last shot of Matt, you see half of his face completely in dark, like in a shadow, and the other half is there's a red light flashing.
Yeah.
And you just see that side lit up in red. I saw it as foreshadowing that Daredevil is still in Matt, and obviously Daredevil will be coming. He will put on the suit again.
Right.
Do you think that's what that shot was saying? Because that's what I saw it as.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think it's
nice.
I think it's we're on the boiling point of like, all right, some shit's gonna happen. We're gonna see Daredevil soon. And then that's how and it ends with him looking up and Fist looking down.
Yeah. I don't think they were looking at each other, but it was symbolizing that.
That's what it symbolized. Yeah. I don't think they were in the same spot. I don't think he was looking at
I
Fisk.
see you.
Yeah,
Well, I don't see you, but I can hear you.
for real, why
I
did
hear
he
you
look?
fucking breathing.
Why
That's
did
funny.
he look up? He didn't even have to look up. He could have
Yeah.
he could have just known Fisk was there by not
That's why
looking
I
up.
tell you he can see, kind of, sorta. But yeah, but yeah, man, that was a great episode.
All right, so 2 opens up. Honestly, I kind of
Well,
forgot.
first, before we get into episode 2, we got to dedicate this part of the episode to in loving memory of Camar de los Reyes,
Right,
the
right. That's what I was
actor
gonna say.
that.
I was
Oh,
gonna say I honestly forgot that he had passed away until
yeah.
I saw it in the beginning. And I was like,
No, I
that's
didn't, because
why
I
he
kept seeing
passed away.
a few times that his family went to the premiere.
Oh,
Which is real sad on his behalf. They went to the premiere. Yeah, it's unfortunately another Marvel actor that passed from colon cancer. So yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and he's a fellow Boricua, so that hurts a little bit extra. And then he's the first like Boricua superhero dude too. So I was just like, oh, this sucks that that he passed, and it especially is it hurts too because he didn't get to see the project. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean,
right.
we can't say that. We can't say that. We don't know if he got a special screening to see it.
Some of it at least, yeah.
To see some of it at least, yeah, or some things, but yeah, he did pass. So our thoughts and prayers are with his family. But yeah, so let's dive right into the episode.
Yeah, so it opens up with it's New Year's Eve, and Fisk is addressing the city as the mayor elect, pushing kind of the whole New Year or his era, his new era of New York. So I'm going to read an exact quote from it. He's like, the city is in shambles, crime, poverty, feeling of uneasiness, um, as if at any moment things can explode. But New Yorkers are tough, and we know how to take care of ourselves. We don't need a gunslinging vigilante with a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit, or a guy who wears devil horns to save us. So right away, Spider-Man,
Fucking,
Punisher,
oh my god. When
Daredevil.
he said that, I was like, let's fucking go. He actually talked about those specific characters, tying them into this Daredevil. I was so fucking happy he said that shit.
Me too.
So we already knew Punisher was going to be involved. Could we possibly see fucking Spider-Man in an episode? You don't think so, right? But it's set
No,
up, dude. It's set up to have him come in there, or at the
yeah,
very least,
it won't happen because Sony won't allow it. The only way they
right?
can put
But
Spider-Man on a Disney Plus show or in a movie is with something that's co-produced with Sony. Other
okay.
than that, it has to be animated. That is the only avenue that Sony has
Oh,
given.
that's part of
Marvel.
the thing that it can be animated only.
It has to be animated.
Yeah. Well, dude, I don't know. Seeing as how Sony might have a foot out the door with Spider-Man, we don't know if
Right.
they will
If
take a
that
back seat
happens,
to that production side and be like,
right.
okay, well, can we just help produce it and then you can have them in? But all right, well, in that case, could we possibly see Daredevil in the next Spider-Man because of this? Is
I
that
see that.
maybe why it's Easter egging that?
If
You know what I'm saying?
if not Daredevil, I think there's a higher chance of seeing Wilson Fisk in Spider-Man.
I see that. But honestly, if you put Wilson Fisk in something, you gotta show Daredevil. You know what I mean? That's like having
Wilson Fisk was Spider-Man's villain first before it was.
correct because Spider-Man was established first, but he more dealt. It's New York, so multiple superheroes deal with the same bad guy.
Mhm.
We already know that, but that's like having Green Goblin and Spider-Man being nowhere around. You know what I mean? Like you have. It's kind of that's that one superhero where like
No,
that's Daredevil's. Yeah, because that's Daredevil's main bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, other superheroes deal with that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I don't know. I feel like that bad guy comes with that superhero. But anyway, we'll get off that. Go ahead.
uh, let's find out. I'll look up who. Oh, here you look up who Daredevil's arch enemy is.
Oh, I got my book right here. Give me 1 second then.
Oh yeah, his nemesis is Wilson Fisk.
But go ahead with your notes on the episode.
But yeah, so let me finish it off. So it says a skull, a man, a gunslinging vigilante with skull in his chest.
Oh my God! Stop talking when you yawn.
Right.
Nobody can hear you.
Skull slinging. I mean, a gun slinging vigilante with skull in his chest,
Goal
or a
slinging.
man.
Holy shit!
Yeah, right. A man
That'd be crazy.
who dresses in a spider outfit, or a guy who wears devil horns to save us. No, will be our best once again, and then it kind of cuts out, and then they start hearing other people like Matt is hearing other people excited, some excited, some not excited about Fisk, and then it says he's like that he will institute the rule of law, will return to New York City, and that's kind of where the whole quote ends. Yeah,
Here's
he's
something
really
interesting I saw. Mysterio is one of Daredevil's foes,
Mhm.
which is interesting because Mysterio's whole thing is tricking the eyes. So, does that mean Daredevil isn't affected by his tricks and employees?
probably not.
You know what I mean? Maybe I would guess Mysterio would probably mess with sounds then with him,
Yeah.
like have multiple sounds going and try to drown him out. But all right, go ahead.
And then we get Hector Ayala for the first time.
Yep.
And he shows up. He's on the phone with his girl. He has flowers in his hand. He's like, "Oh, I was busy. I'm so sorry. I got caught up." Talking to her in Spanish, and natural, Hispanic male getting grilled by his Latina, woman, and
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry
And
for
a
being
Puerto
late.
Rican woman at that, yeah. They come with the extra sauce, yeah. But they're on the subway platform of the like the 6, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what exact
I don't know what line
train they're on, but go ahead.
So he goes down there and he stops 2 people beating up one guy. So it looks like a gang up, like a beat up. So the victim ends up running, and one guy they're fighting, and one guy trips over. Victor or Hector throws one of the cops to the floor, and then the other cop goes to swing at him, and when he goes to swing, he trips
Well,
over.
yeah, you spoiled it because we at this moment we didn't know they were cops. They just look like
I
2
called him
guys
a cop.
beating them up. You did, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So yeah, no. So he throws, like you said, he throws one guy, and then the other guy trips over him, and then falls on the platform with the best
Off the
timing,
platform.
or the most unfortunate, off the platform, hits by a train, and then
Yeah.
that's when the dude decides to go NYPD, don't move. Like, hey, how about when he starts punching you, you go NYPD, hands up. You know what I mean? Like, not fight him back.
Yeah.
You fucking obviously you're dirty, but at least use your badge to your advantage. You
Well,
dumbass.
we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if he's dirty. I just think he's part of a special task
Dude,
force.
he's 100% dirty. Are you serious? He goes to kill the witness, dude. He's dirty as fuck.
I think the witness, there's more to the witness. He might be some type of vigilante also.
And I'm sorry, you don't think he's dirty? He literally tells the guy, I'm going forward a little bit, but he tells him to kill Matt. He dirty as fuck.
I mean, I get it, but there's this task force called the vigilante task force, and he could be part of it.
Doesn't
And
mean
that's
that they're
yeah,
but that doesn't mean that he's not a dirty cop in that task force. But go ahead, continue.
well, I think everybody in that task force kind of has this free reign of like they kind of just do things. They do things to kind of stop the vigilantes.
Well, yeah,
You
you said something about them, and I'll wait till we get to that to bring that up. But go ahead.
But yeah, so the 2 aggressors that were, trying to beat up that victim that gets away, turned out to be cops. And then it cuts away from there, and then the BB report, which is pretty cool. The BB report, it's like this like guerrilla style of like almost like YouTube shorts essentially.
Yeah, I brought that up last episode. I called it a guerrilla style reporting. It's kind of like the Daily Bugle if it was street level. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen a Daily Bugle in here yet, have we?
No, not yet.
And I don't think we've ever
In Daredevil?
Yeah, we have. Never mind. I lied.
in the Netflix series.
Yeah, we did. Ben
Mhm.
Urich has like a framing of the Daily Bugle,
Oh, okay, okay,
like in New York or whatever. But anyways,
yes.
so yeah,
So they're
so
interviewing
then
the city on Daredevil.
yeah, and just on Daredevil, and then on also like how the strong should look out for the weak.
Hmm.
And one guy made a kind of interesting point, was saying that like, yeah, like, often, if you have the capability to look out for the weak, you should, but sometimes they start to take advantage of that and kind of exploit it, almost as if, like, all
Hmm.
right, cool, I'm strong, you need me. So they kind of exploit their ability to
Yeah,
look
the
out
wrong
for the
ones.
little people, which is totally what NYC has always been, some corrupt people, um
Yeah, I mean,
Chicago's all
city's
different,
not Chicago. Yeah, I was just gonna say Chicago's not far from that too. Yeah,
right? But it's
yeah,
it's it's different. It's the political side
yeah.
of it is pretty big. There we have some gang violence here in Chicago, but it's not really organized. It's God bless you. It's more of at the dirty level of the city in New York. Like it's the politicians
Rampant.
there are pretty corrupt, But anyways,
Yeah. Okay.
so then it cuts to them being inside his new office after he's mayor,
Hmm.
and his chief of staff is kind of like talking to him and like prepping him on what he needs to do. And then she asks him a question. Excuse me. And he ignores her. And he goes, "How old do you think this desk is?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Vanessa would know by sight." And then he's like, "You wonder if did Ferelio Lagardita Lagarda sit here?" And
LaGuardia,
LaGuardia, it was just an old mayor that kind of just really
and is
didn't.
also what I didn't realize the airport was named after
Right.
LaGuardia. Yeah, I never realized that it was named after a mayor.
The old mayor, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess his mayor was like tough, Old Testament, didn't put up with no one's bullshit.
Hmm.
Um, there's some stories of some corruptness that he had too, but he was kind of that, kind of essentially kingpin before he was kingpin.
You're talking about the real life
Yeah.
LaGuardia? Oh, okay, okay.
I wouldn't call him necessarily a kingpin, but just of his time, he kind of was, I guess.
I would
Um,
imagine that's where the comic book writer got the inspiration for Kingpin, maybe.
yeah. I mean, he wasn't completely dirty, but he did what he needed to do to get the job done.
Which
You know
is
what I'm saying?
Fisk. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Right. Well, Fisk is different.
Mm-hmm.
He's a different dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then it shows Fisk with bruised knuckles, which is
Dude, I
interesting.
saw that. I saw that. I'm like,
We don't know
what?
where that came from. Still, at
No.
least
And I don't remember if his hands were like that when he met with Matt.
they weren't.
I
I looked.
don't think they were. Yeah. So, and those are still fresh. They were still red around them. They
Yeah.
weren't bruised. They're scabbed. So apparently
So
he's either
I think
fighting
he's still
or
training. I
training.
think
Yeah.
that's why he like built muscle. I
That's
think
what I was. Yeah. That would be my main thought. That would probably be the most logical answer to that. And he just didn't wrap his hands
I
well.
think he has some type of version of the super soldier serum. I think they're gonna tie what's happening in Thunderbolts and Val in particular, him
Yeah.
having some political pull because of her.
I'm not with you on that theory. Nah. Because I think the whole point of Kingpin was that he is that strong himself. Like he's already almost got super strength. You know what I mean? Like almost. He's just incredibly powerful. He's not, granted, I don't think he has literal super strength, but
Mhm.
his whole thing is that he's strong like that just himself. So I think giving him super soldier serum would stray too far from who he is as Kingpin. But go ahead.
Well, I hear you, but
Mhm.
what I'm saying is I think he has a version of the super soldier serum. Maybe a pre-version of what they give to Sentry, to Bob. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he was
Mhm.
one of the first people that they tested on. But he is said to have superhuman strength. He's shattered. He's overpowered Spider-Man, and he's shattered Green Goblin's armor.
So he literally does have super strength.
Hmm. Durability. So his superhuman strength, durability, and superior intelligence. Doesn't say how he got it. And
Uh-huh.
I think that the reason why I say he got that version of some version of a super soldier serum or some serum was because he slimmed down. He had the whole eye insemination, and now he has a robotic eye. And I
Yeah.
think he knows that he's gonna have to go toe to toe with the vigilante at some point, and he's
Mhm.
gonna need to. And he's seen people like Spider-Man that can literally fight aliens, and I think that's where they're gonna make him a little bit more beefed up in this MCU.
Where did you see his power set or his superpowers?
Hmm.
Because here I don't see that. It just says that he has a brilliant mind, a brilliant criminal mind, and superb fighting skills. His body, though huge and heavy, is composed of almost solid muscle. I don't see that he has super strength.
Yeah, here's a superhuman strength, superhuman durability, super intelligence, physical enhancements.
Where is
Kingpin
that? There, you read
Kingpin
that?
underwent a process that enhanced his physical capabilities after several attempts on his life.
Oh, so that's what that's from. So originally he didn't.
No,
He was just incredibly strong. All right. So now if you say they follow that, then I could see your theory. Then okay.
yeah, and
So
I
he
don't think it's the
now
super
I don't
soldier serum,
yeah.
but it can be some whatever Val concocted to kind of give Sentry. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
not going to
Yeah,
be on the
I
level of Sentry, but still, I think Val. He's gonna either Val or the Power Broker, Sharon Carter. He's gonna be in cahoots with one of those two people.
I don't know, dude. I kind of want them to stay away from Super Soldiers here just because it's been played out already by now. Um I would just I almost would rather them steer closer to gamma, some kind of gamma uh gamma powers set or something like that. But yeah, I hope it's something other than Super Soldier
Gamma
because
could
that's
be it.
it's getting old. It's getting old. You know what I mean? Like the Super Soldier thing.
Hmm.
Like, okay, come on. Hey, She-Hulk said it best. Like, come on, like it's been used, it's been done already. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Or proto adamantium, some type of that. Like in Brave New World, Captain America Brave New World, they did say, medical advancements, and uh, I forgot what else, but
yeah,
medical
give me a pro adamantium concoction that's in his blood that heightens his strength. I'll go with that.
something. Yeah.
But
But
get away from Soldier Serum. But go ahead.
that was just the term I was using, but I think it's
Okay.
going to tie into Sharon Carter as the power
Okay.
broker or Val.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Let's get through the episode a little bit.
so he goes. He talks about how LaGuardia had built the city, um, and that was probably the only person that his father actually
Yeah.
respected.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he said it. He goes, my father didn't look up to many men or
he
respect a
didn't
lot of
respect
men, but
a lot of men. He's like,
yeah.
honestly, he didn't
Hmm.
respect any.
Yeah.
Um, Hold on, hang
But
tight.
LaGuardia came close.
Yeah, so he just talks about his dad, and his dad, only respected certain people, and one person that he respected was LaGuardia.
Mhm.
Uh, and then she brings up DA Hawkberg, and that it's all about optics at this point, and that's
Mhm.
the name of the damn episode. It's called Optics, and
Mhm.
she brings it up that, like, it's an important thing for you to kind of show your support for certain people, to kind of be out there in the limelight essentially, but especially one, because a lot of people hate him, to be honest, and he
Yeah.
laughs. She's like,
Mhm.
but one of the biggest thing that's hurting you is Vanessa kind of being MIA, not
Yeah.
being part of his whole scene. Even when he
Mhm.
won, she like cheered to him from across the room in the
That's what I'm
first
saying.
episode.
She didn't even do that. They just shared a look and then she walks away.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
like, obviously, she cheated on him. he wasn't home or wasn't there or whatever. But
But
I mean,
I don't
I don't
even
know.
think that has anything to do with it. I think it's the fact that because she's in charge of the empire now and still dealing with the mob and all that stuff, he doesn't like. I get why he wanted to distance himself through the campaign, but
Mm.
now that you're mayor, what is he scared of being impeached or something like that? Or
But yeah, I mean, if anything, more
yeah,
light, more everything's all the light
more
shining
than like
now. Yeah, everyone's watching everything you make.
yeah, with what you're doing now, but I think there's more of a flashlight on you during the campaign because people are trying to dig up everything from
More
your
of a
past.
flashlight. What?
Oh, I said flashlight. I don't know
What I
what you're
heard.
thinking about. Exactly. But
Yeah. So, I bring it up because like I think they're having marital issues. I really think they do
oh,
still love
they
each other.
100% are. We see later that they go to counseling. Yeah.
Right. So whatever. So, his chief of staff is like telling him like, well, you got to meet DA Holberg, and who we end up meeting later on this episode. And he's like, and you gotta do something about, appearing with Vanessa. And he asks for some more time. He's like,
Yeah.
give me some more time, to kind of stretch this out a little bit, so that I can figure
Yeah.
things out with Vanessa, basically. And she's like, absolutely. So then it cuts
Yeah.
to Matt, hearing somebody get beat up in an interrogation room because he's in a police station. And so then
Yeah. Well,
he
he was dealing with one of his clients,
right,
or the family of a client of his or something. He was talking to
correct.
somebody. They were trying
It
to
was
get
a
updates on what's
DUI
going
case.
on. Yeah, she was trying to get updates on something going on, and then he's like, he kind of hurries her away because he hears that.
Right. And so he goes and he says, I'm gonna, basically represent Hector. And then after that it cuts away and the Fisk is in traffic. And it's funny, he's like, I'm already the mayor. Why do I need a key to Brooklyn? Because he's going to Brooklyn to receive the key to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I totally agreed with him. I'm like, yeah, the key is dumb, dude. It's the dumbest. Like,
It's a
here's the key
political
to the
thing.
city.
It's
He's
a
like, bitch, I
public
already
event.
run this place. Like, I already
I
own
know,
Brooklyn. Why do I need the key to the house? Like, what the hell?
but
But yeah, go ahead.
it's
I know it's a
like the name, it's
symbolizer thing. Yeah,
optics. Yeah,
yeah, it
it's
is.
something big. You could go on this tour the first 100 days. That's what you focus on. It's just kind of
Yeah,
going out there, shaking hands, kissing people's ass, so that way when you need things
kissing
passed
babies.
later
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
hmm
exactly.
yeah.
So there's a big hole, and from what? Where did the big hole come from? It doesn't look like it's a sinkhole or something. You know what I
The
mean?
Hulk. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Do you think it has
Oh, really? I
like
was just joking.
like maybe not the Hulk in particular, but you think it'll reference some other hero situation happen?
No,
Spider-Man
because
fighting somebody, or
I mean, yeah, it's easy to do that, but honestly, this looked like just a pothole that got really bad. Maybe like a big ass trailer bounced on it and created that big hole. It doesn't look
look at
something
the image
superhero.
again. Look at the
I
image
will, but
again.
it
Let me
doesn't.
know what you
It,
think. I
to me,
think
it doesn't
it
look like
looks like
superhero.
somebody landed in the middle, or something
Yeah,
fell that shouldn't have fallen there.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Again, there's always trailers carrying those big ass metal tubes or whatever. One could have popped off, landed there, created that hole. I don't know. I don't necessarily seeing. I think this scene was only set to establish in that construction thing or that big ass thing, that the biggest hole in the street being there, was to set up what Fisk does about it. Is that he gets out of his car and he's like talking to the construction guys. Oh, we're waiting on the permits. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, consider it done. He's like, let's get these guys in there. And then the people see him getting shit done.
Oh, I
So it's
get
just
it.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
think that
I
scene was
get
only there to set that up. I honestly don't think anything other
the
than
optic of what that whole scene was
yeah.
about. He rallies
Mhm.
the construction workers, and
Yeah.
basically makes it a big old scene about like, we're getting shit done. I'm getting the city fixed.
Mhm.
Consider the permit passed. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it works that way. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get some slack about it. I get he's the mayor, but like,
Yeah.
you can't
Whatever.
really.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's just because it hadn't reached his desk yet or whatever, because he's out kicking hands, kissing babies. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, I think this is just the nerd in you looking for like maybe Easter eggs and stuff like that. I think you're
agreed.
reading more
I
into
am.
it than it is. Yeah, but go
I'm
ahead.
happy Daredevil's back, and it's everything that's
Yeah.
happening is tied to the MCU now. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? And
mhm.
it's not vaguely tied. You know, it's
I'll
not
put
a
it to you this way: if it is like some superhero battle, wouldn't be surprised. But I just don't think that that's where they're going with it. But go ahead.
we'll see.
So after
Um,
that whole situation, uh, yeah. So
it flips back to
Matt,
Matt being at
yeah,
his firm, and he's talking to Cherry, and he has Cherry investigate Hector. And he's
really
like,
quick, why do we know where Cherry comes from? Is that part of his actual name, or is it a nickname? What's the deal with that? Do
his
we not
name is,
know yet?
that's just his name. Yeah, Cherry.
Do you think that that's an actual name, or do you think that's a nickname?
It just says Cherry. Some on
Yeah, right.
IMDb, some of them it says they're like Vanessa Fisk, you know.
Yeah,
But Frank
we don't
Castle,
have
Frank
that.
Page, we don't have his last
Yeah.
name. He's just
Okay.
Cherry.
So we don't have this whole thing.
He's a
Okay.
retired cop that's now like a PI basically.
And I think only because of Matt, because he was set to retire.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Yeah, he's technically retired. But yeah, go ahead.
And also Matt kind of owes him because he knows his secret.
Honestly, I don't see it that way. I think maybe that's why Carrie's doing what he's doing for him.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah, I
also
don't
like,
think
Matt,
it's because like Matt's
I'm
like, yeah,
bored.
I owe
I need
you.
it. Yeah, but I'm sure he like hit up mom. He's like, yo, I'm bored. I kind of want to do some stuff. You think you can
Yeah,
as a guy?
yeah,
It's not like you're gonna say no because I know, you know.
yeah, yeah. I don't,
So
I don't, I don't, I don't see Cherry being a guy that's blackmailing Matt Murdock. But go ahead.
not officially blackmailing him, but like hinting at it, like, yeah, don't fuck with me, bro. Like, I'm
Oh,
sure
please.
Terry seems like the guy because that's how cops are. New York coppers, that's how they are. They're like they'll play on all the leads that they
The
have.
bad ones. I'll take you to the conversation in Dark Knight Rises where he goes, so your plan is to blackmail a man that wears a mask and goes out vigilanting and beating the shit out of people? Okay. So I'll just have that conversation with Cherry. But go ahead.
That's different. But
So then
Cherry is a police officer. That guy was a tech guy or some like pencil pusher,
the
behind a
end
desk.
result is still the same conversation. Like I don't care what you do as for a living. But then yeah, so then uh the courtroom full of NYPD
Oh
and
yeah, and then the Hawk walks in. He's like the Hawk. He's like Hawkberg. So now we find out that Hawkberg, the DA, is now being he's going to be the plaintiff for this case, and obviously Matt is defending Hector. So I didn't think this guy was going to make a big entrance, but they brought him up in the beginning because Fisk is supposed to meet him, and now they're bringing
Hawkberg.
him back up again. Yeah. So now
Yeah.
Ben Hopberg is the DA. So he's apparently going to probably play a significant role going forward.
I have a feeling he's who's behind the attempt on Benny. He's probably the one in charge of that task force in some way, whether officially or unofficially.
Oh, the
Uh,
task force.
yeah, I think he has something to do with that.
I don't think the task force had anything to do for Benny. I think the task force. I think he has to do with um
Well, the
the
reason I say that is because the guys that were involved are in the task force. You know what I'm
correct,
saying?
but Benny had nothing to do with it. That
But it
was
had nothing to
that
do
was a
with it.
year ago. You said Benny.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm only saying Benny as far as like to bring reference as to who like what that task force is about. And I said I think that's I think he might be behind why the task force was after Benny or why those guys were after Benny. The reason I say that is because I
No
think
one's after
he's
Benny. What are you talking about?
yeah, dude. Somebody was after Benny. That's why Daredevil was going after him to help him. Somebody was in his building. And then the cops showed up to his apartment to try to kill him, and Matt saved him.
You have the names mixed up. Benny is the guy from the beginning that Bullseye used. This guy's name is
Oh,
Nikki
sorry.
Torres.
This is the witness that was getting beat up.
Yes. I'm
Sorry,
like,
fuck. I was
what are
thinking of
you
something
talking
totally
about?
different. Sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
You mixed
So
up the
I
people.
then
They're different
then let me
witnesses.
switch that. I think he might be behind.
Oh, yes,
Oh no,
absolutely.
he's not gonna be behind. Oh yeah, maybe he does say, "Hey, kill that witness."
Yeah. Absolutely.
he's the guy behind the task force. That doesn't change my end results of that conversation, or that statement, which is I think he's behind the task force in some form or fashion.
Yes,
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, he has nothing to do with Ben. Ben was a total separate
No,
incident.
you're correct. You're 100% right. I mixed up two
Misspoke.
because they were both witnesses that were being uh hidden, like trying to hide. You know what I mean? So like
Oh,
then my brain went. They're the same guy for some reason. It's late,
it's
so let's
late.
go. Yeah, go
We
ahead.
both
The
did the
next
same
one.
thing.
Yeah.
So whatever. So that happens, and he basically says no bail, and then Hector's like, yeah, I'm in good hands, huh? He's like, it'll be fine. It's gonna be a long process. You'll be all right. Like, just relax.
Yeah.
Then it switches back to BB, the BB report.
Kind of
Um,
using that young guy, David, or what was it? What did I say his name was? Blake, David Blake. Is
David
that right?
Blake, yeah.
Kind of
So,
flirted with him to get it in with fucking
oh yeah, he
Fisk.
even calls her out on it. He's like, so yeah,
Yeah,
you
he's like,
always
what the
had
fuck?
a hidden agenda here. And then
Yeah,
she's like, well, yeah, I'm a reporter. What do you expect? And
yeah, yeah. Like, don't be mad because you thought I was into you. I was just flirting with you to get some intel
yeah, don't hit the
to get
player,
it
hit the
in.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Respect.
so he ends up
Honestly, if that
getting,
was me, I'd have been like, hey, respect. That was fucked up, but respect. Like, go ahead.
yeah, agreed. And then let me see, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, I guess I skipped that part. So
No,
she ends up getting 5 minutes with um
he didn't skip anything. She talks after she like seduced, quote unquote, her way into Fisk's office. She gets what did you say? 15 minutes of Fisk?
5. She gets
5
5 minutes
minutes?
with him. And
Yeah.
so they go in, and so she asks questions about the chief, the commissioner,
Mhm.
and how she's asked him about Fisk towards the commissioner 3 different times, and the guy has not said a single word about Fisk. And so that
Yes, people, that is a working
resign.
fridge. Oh yeah.
He's looking to resign, and he's probably going to take half the police force. As it is, the police force is already understaffed and underpaid. Basically saying like,
Hold on. Wait for Leon and go.
basically saying like, what are you going to do about this? Like, and she's in support of Fisk, and Fisk acknowledges that, and he's
Is
like,
she?
yeah. And
Hmm.
Fisk even says that he's
I
like,
don't remember.
you're one of the first people that reported about me positively, essentially, and they were in
Oh, I
support of.
forgot. I didn't take that she was in support of him. I just took in that she was one of the peoples that was reporting like unbiasedly on him.
I agree. I think she always has an angle. She's always trying to get a story. But
Okay.
as of right now, she's an ally to Fisk. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's gonna obviously turn because she's Ben Urich's niece. Like it's in her blood.
Can you give me a little bit of background? Who do we know who Ben Urich is? Is he
Yeah,
established in the old show?
he's the editor, the African American editor with the glasses. He gave Karen the job at the paper.
Oh, I knew the name. I'm
Yeah,
like, I know that we know this character. I
yeah,
just couldn't place it. But all right, thanks. Go ahead.
yeah. He was murdered in that by
That's right, he
Bullseye.
was. That's right. That's right, he was. Yeah. Yeah. So then Heather's at a book signing, right?
Yeah, so Heather's at a book signing, and one guy steps up to him, and I think that might be the moose or muse, whatever
Muse.
that muse, yeah,
Muse.
whatever that villain. I think that's who he
I'm
is.
glad I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say this dude seems sus from the
Sus as
jump.
hell. Yeah.
So what I was thinking of, you ever see that movie Patch Adams with Robin Williams?
Mhm.
I was getting vibes of the dude that killed the girl,
Mm,
the mental patient that winds up killing his girlfriend.
yeah,
I was getting those vibes from this guy. I was like, yo, something's up with this dude. And I don't know, it's just his demeanor, his approach. Like, props to the actor because he gave me vibes of like something's up with you, dude. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And that's Daredevil's girl. This guy can't catch a fucking break, dude. Everybody he touches something's gonna happen to them. Like, and it's not even because here's what pisses me off is Matt winds up thinking it's because he's Daredevil. It's like, no, dude. Shit is just wild in Hell's Kitchen and surrounding boroughs. You're just there, dude. Like, this is gonna happen. You weren't even Daredevil. This, I hope, this is what sparks him to be like, well, I wasn't Daredevil when this happened. I might as well be Daredevil again.
Yeah. I think that's
You know
what they're
what I'm
going to
saying?
lean towards. I think that's what's going to happen.
Something's gonna happen where he's gonna see that it wasn't the result of him being Daredevil, and that the city's gonna need him.
Well, I mean, I think the way this episode ends is a huge push to that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there. Hold on. All right.
Mhm.
So Heather is at a book signing, and this one guy comes up who's unknown at the moment and
Mhm.
asks for her email saying, I need your help and you're taking new clients. And she's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I
I'm
can
the therapist then, yeah.
Yeah, I can. She's like, "Whew." Jesus. She's like, well, I can move some things around. We'll figure something out. And he's like, thank you so much. And then he gets her email, walks off. And then Fisk, right hand man, walks up and boom,
What the fuck?
hands the book.
You think this guy already knows that he's into her? That they're
No.
dating? He's got to, right?
You think Fisk knows?
Come on, dude. If all right, we're only following Daredevil on this part, so we see that how much Daredevil's looking into Matt after that meeting in that diner. You
Oh,
don't think he has a people scoping out Matt to make sure he's not Daredeviling anymore? Hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, he absolutely sent this dude there.
So he chose her as a therapist on purpose?
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Fist's right hand man, not the Muse guy.
Oh.
I was talking about Fist's right hand man
No,
went
right.
there to talk to her because I think he was sent by Fist. Like, hey, go scope her out.
Right. So do you think that's why Fisk chose to have her as his
Be the
therapist?
therapist. Yes, 100%. Yeah, because they he does couples counseling with her.
Mhm.
I actually forgot about that part, but yeah, 100%,
But
dude.
she cancels a date that they were supposed to have.
She did, didn't she?
She's like,
Yeah, to take that meeting,
up.
to take that session. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
So that's sus. That's some interesting movement happening.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, you say once a thug, always a thug.
Yeah.
Around
Oh well, that's different. That's what Fisk when Fisk goes to the cop's funeral and talks to the
Oh, that's
NYPD
what the guy says, right? I thought that was
Yeah.
your notes on it, but yeah.
No, he goes. That's what the chief guy
Mhm.
Gallo talks to him, and he's like, why would you show up in the middle of this? He's like, it's kind of shitty of you to do this to show up at at a police funeral.
Well, they're at the funeral of the guy that got hit by the train.
Right, and
Yeah.
knowing that Fisk had put plenty of those people into a grave. You know what I mean? Killed plenty of cops and corrupted plenty
Well,
of
no,
cops.
he said you've put a lot of my guys in these graves.
Yeah.
Like your Pat, he literally said you've put a lot of guys in here. But yeah.
Right. So that's where I'm going with that. Like, why would he go there of all places? But
Mhm.
it's a bold move because he's vulnerable and he's coming to try to show peace. You know what I mean? That was
I saw it more as
Fisk.
that was the mayor and going there. Just
Yeah.
optics. Again, it's optics. So I think it was him trying to get shots of him there as mayor in support of the fallen officer.
No, I
It
think
was
he
not Fisk.
realizes that, he can't have Gallo walk away. So he goes
Oh yeah,
there.
for sure. But I'm saying the reason he showed up there to talk to Gallo there was for the optics of a mayor going and paying his respects to the fallen
No,
police
I
officer.
think it was
You're-
it was a chess move of him going there and saying, "Hey, look, I'm coming here. You're in a
oh, there specifically
vulnerable
you're
time."
saying?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going there specifically. Like, I'm coming with my hands up, saying, "Look, I mean no harm. Let's figure this out." I think he's trying to find a middle ground at first, and then
Yeah. Okay.
this is where Gallo looks up, and then he ends up going back to his office and
Yeah.
handing him his resignation letter, And he's like, look, as of midnight tonight, it's effective that I'm stepping away and I'm taking half the force with me. And
then we see Wilson Fisk sitting behind the here's where we see Kingpin sitting behind that desk, not Wilson Fisk.
oh my god, yeah. So he's like
Kingpin
eating
is
the
right,
sandwich.
dude, he's got a folder, or no, the sandwich. He lifts up the sandwich, the wrapping that the restaurant gives you,
Yeah.
with like their name all over it. He's like,
Yeah,
have
well,
you
here I
seen
got
this place?
So it's called.
Yeah.
So Chief Gallo goes in there. He tells him he's going to resign. He threatens to resign. He doesn't tell him. He threatens to resign.
Yeah.
And then he goes like, "You're from Philly, right?" He's like, Geno's is my favorite Philly cheesesteak place. He's like, but one of my, I send my cash man to go get a sandwich from D'Angelo's. It's in the King of Prussia. I don't know. That's how the subtitle said it.
Yeah.
And then
Prussia,
Prussia,
like
Prussia?
Russia, but with a P. Prussia.
Okay, fair.
Mhm.
So then whatever. So he sent his guy to go pick up a sandwich for him and bring it back.
Mhm.
And then when he lifts up like you said, he lifts up the piece of paper, the wrapper, and underneath there is a picture of his bastard son.
He's
and
like
his
eating.
mistress
Goes,
wife.
yeah. No, his picture of a kid with a woman that I don't think was his wife.
Right. His bastard son and his mistress wife.
You said mistress wife?
Yeah. Or
Oh,
mistress
they
woman.
cut out. I didn't hear mistress wife. I just heard wife. I'm like, no, that's not his wife.
No, it's
Okay.
a secret. Like apparently
It's
no
just
one knows.
mistress. I don't think you had wife to mistress.
Fair
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
I was like, holy
Yeah.
cow, this guy's doing some dirt.
And then he's like, fine, I won't retire. He's like, are
Yeah.
you in?
Yeah, he's like, and
Checkmate.
no one gets a raise and no minimal overtime. Basically, everyone has to work as much overtime as possible. So he puts him in the rock. He puts in a rock in a hard place for sure.
But dude, not that. I saw it more as this is what you get for fucking with me, for threatening me. I was like, okay, really? Your cops are behind you? Well, this is what you did for them. Now we're gonna see whose back they have, yours or mine.
I think Gallo's dead. By
so?
episode 5 and 6, he's gonna be dead.
Because he's not on the Kingpin's gonna need the head of the police in his pocket. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% he does not survive the series. If he does, I will be shocked.
No, I agree. Let's see, what else would we miss? So Cherry's doing some investigation with the partner, and so they go and they're talking to the wife of Hector, and he's doing some snooping around the apartment, and he ends up finding the box with a white tiger suit inside of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got to pause right here. My guy, you kind of let me down being a Puerto Rican superhero. You hide your costume in a box easily open underneath your bed? What the fuck?
I mean, Peter had it.
You couldn't have it
chest at the foot of his bed.
What do you mean in the chest at the foot of his bed?
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
I forgot about Tobey's. Yeah, okay, even that I had an issue with. But like, you can't put it in the floorboards or something, and you leave the amulet in there. What the fuck? Dude, your superpowers, how are you not wearing that shit all day, every day?
Yeah.
You could have easily fucking took down those guys quick than a motherfucker with your amulet on, which gives him his powers. He's established that in when have you gotten to the part where Daredevil finds out about him? No, because you just noticed the thing. Sorry, I jumped. Go ahead. But I had
even with that, I
was like, dude, what the fuck?
I think there's some pent up aggression that you get from wearing the amulet too long.
Oh, you think it fucks with your mind a little bit?
I think so.
Ooh, okay.
So I think that's why the wife was upset, because she's like, that's not the man I married. Remember?
Yes. You think it altered your brain chemistry a little bit. Ooh, I'm gonna look that up. Go ahead.
So that's my opinion. I didn't fact check.
I like that. I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot. Yeah.
And then it's kind of official. Heather and Matt are like a thing. Like, they were supposed to have dinner. She
Mhm.
cancels. Like I think
Yeah, so I said they're
they're like
dating. Yeah,
they're legit dating, like legitimately
yeah,
dating.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Because he even says at the end of the first episode, he goes, "Damn it, I hate when uh Kristen is right and he kisses
yeah.
her." Yeah, dude, they're getting it on.
Oh yeah, and they make some Kirsten McDuffie.
Kirsten, Kirsten.
Kirsten, yeah.
Every
Let's
time
see.
I hear that name, I can't help but think of Deadpool. And Deadpool, I think one was it. He's like Kristen, when he's talking about Kirsten Dunst.
Oh yeah.
He's like Kirsten. Sorry, but go ahead.
So whatever. So they find out, like Matt now knows because Cherry calls him while they're at dinner.
Whoa, time out. White Wolf is a woman in the comics?
Yeah.
I mean, White Tiger?
Yeah.
Do we know if he has kids yet?
I don't think so.
Ooh. So White Wolf is something, but he's
Yeah,
White Tiger. So, all right, go ahead.
Bucky Barnes was the White Wolf,
Oh,
and he was in Wakanda.
yeah, but this is an actual, this is a different superhero. I think. I don't think this is Bucky here.
They're mantles that get passed around.
Is that what that is? Okay, then. Yeah, because it's actually not saying a name. It just says real name Hunter.
Hmm.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So people. Oh, so um, Matt takes a phone call while they're at dinner. Him and Heather, and it's Cherry. He's like, "Oh, Cherry wouldn't call me this late if it wasn't important. I gotta take this." So he answers. He ends up now. It flips to the scene where he's at the prison where Hector's being held, and he puts up a video of him in the white tiger suit taking out somebody, like tripping and flipping somebody over in like a convenience store. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a little sad to say, but his death might not be too bad for the show in a sense, the actor's death, because the White Tiger here says after her uncle Hector Ayala, uh, the white the White Tiger was slain. That's when she takes it and
Hmm.
becomes a White Tiger. Ooh, so this says uncle. So do you think we're gonna see her, the White Tiger, being?
I
So
don't
remember
think
this name, Angela del Toro is the White Tiger's real name.
I can see it happening maybe in season 2. I
Yeah,
don't think they'll
yeah.
tarnish
That's
that
what I mean.
legacy now,
Especially
because
with the actor passing, I don't see them recasting, especially if in the comics this character is killed.
right,
So
so they can have
probably in this
just a
season
stunt
he
double
passes. Yeah,
wearing the costume saying it was Victor or Hector,
or
and then he
Hector.
dies.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So
Yeah.
I see that more in season 2, but it could be a part of the season finale with him dying and then we see the niece.
I don't think
That's
they're gonna
it.
have him killed off this season.
You don't think so this season? I'll say, do you think it'll probably be a beginning of the second season that he dies?
Maybe middle.
Really, that far in? Okay, without
Yeah,
without the
because
actual
I
actor,
don't want. Yeah, exactly. I don't
it'll
think
just
they
be White
want to.
Tiger mask on.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna introduce him and then kill him, especially because his family is watching this episode, this series.
Okay, that I could understand, but here's the thing though, if that was already in the storyline for the script when he signed on, I don't see them not going forward with that because he passed in real life.
If
Because
that's
he
how
would
they
have
explained
known.
it, that
Yeah,
he it was written for him to be introduced and then die, and it was
yeah,
already written that way, then fine. I don't think they're
yeah.
gonna do. I don't think they're gonna retcon it if they didn't this season. They'll
Correct.
address it next season
That's
somewhere.
what I was under. That's what I was saying is I'm under the assumption that it's set that he passes at the end last episode of the season, and then we don't necessarily see a new White Tiger, but we get an introduction into Angela del Toro, and then that's
Probably.
how, comic book nerds are like fucking White Tiger right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead. Sorry, that's enough of the White Tiger. Go ahead with what you're saying.
So yeah, Matt pulls up his phone, kind of like a YouTube short video of Hector in the White Tiger suit with the amulet.
Very Tony Stark, Peter Parker. That's you, isn't it? Like
with a different tone, but yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
100%. Because that's a very comedy tone, and this is Hell's Kitchen. Ain't nothing to laugh at here. Yeah,
Right. It's not Hell's Kitchen.
Uh-huh.
They're not in Hell's Kitchen.
Sorry.
This whole
I know
episode
they're
is
not in
not
Hell's
in Hell's
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
I mean, I only say Hell's Kitchen because it's Daredevil. But go ahead. Where are they technically right now?
Probably Manhattan.
Nah, bullshit. That does not look Manhattan, dude.
Well, not the
I would
jail.
say, right, but I would say that's like one of the outlying boroughs. It's not. It's maybe like I don't know what's next to Hell's Kitchen, but I think it's probably like adjacent. Tell you what, they're not far from Hell's Kitchen. I guarantee you that. His law office isn't in Hell's Kitchen, that's for sure. It's in a way nicer part. Yeah.
Right. And his new apartment isn't in Hell's Kitchen anymore either. He moved away from Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, when he stopped. Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, not important. What's it called? Right. He goes, and this part kind of raised my eyebrow a bit because Hector's like, people are missing and no one seems to care. It's not like Daredevil is around anymore. And Matt kind of laughs. But why are people disappearing? What's going on? Like, what's going on in the city that people are just disappearing? I don't know if that was kind of a hint to the blip where people disappeared, or if there's some other criminal situation.
No, I think it's that either. I think it's gonna tie into that task force.
Probably.
Yeah. Like they're getting, dude. This is probably gonna add into that fucking DA. I think he's getting rid of witnesses so that he can win his cases.
Probably.
And that's what not Benny, but what the other guy was all about. Getting rid of that witness so that they say, because their whole case is that Hector attacked them for no reason, unprompted. That he attacked them, and that's why they died. Yeah, dude. I think it's the task force getting rid of witnesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. So that's the end of that. Then Matt ends up going to the judge, and he gets the judge to dismiss the use of Hector being a vigilante as White Tiger, because he was saying, like that it would, and it could have gone either way. The judge could have been an asshole and be like, no.
Yeah.
But the DA had points. He's like, it does show proof. It shows acts of aggression. He's like, yeah, but he wasn't in possession of the amulet when it happened. And which now they know that he gets powers from the amulet. So they're aware of some mystical property. You know what I mean? And they're willing to understand that, hey, like this mystical property gives you power. So,
yeah, it's already been established, which I did read, and it doesn't say that, at least in what I read here, it doesn't say that it affects your mind. It just says that it gives you an enhanced strength and agility, I think it said. So in here, it doesn't establish that it affects your mind, but as we know, MCU isn't exactly comic accurate sometimes. So the MCU has been known to expand on something.
I think it's perfect storytelling if that's the case.
Yeah. Because it could be, I mean, you had talked about the wife saying that's not the man I knew before. You could say the same thing about season 1 of Daredevil. Once he takes on that mantle of Daredevil, he's not the same Matt Murdock he was before.
Oh, agreed.
And it could because of what he's seeing and what he's having to go through and the way he's seeing his city is. Maybe all the crime and stuff affecting the White Tiger's trying to stop. Maybe that's getting to his head. Like, this is what's in this world. This is what this world is. Maybe that gives him a chip on his shoulder. Like it could, that storyline could play either way. I like your idea that it might alter his mind a little bit. But I could see it if they don't go that route. I could see it could just be the mantle of White Tiger is just affecting him.
Just the pressure of it. Yeah.
Yes, dude. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
He gets
that that thing thrown out that the white tiger
Mhm.
being the white tiger is not to be involved in the case whatsoever.
Yeah, and
So is that saying that his identity is safe for the time being?
I think so. I think it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
So then it kind of switches to a scene where Cherry and Matt are at like the riverside, and they're chatting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think Cherry's alluding to the fact that like he's seeing that Matt's starting to become more aggressive and
Like starting to reach for that Daredevil helmet, like that.
yeah.
Like he's like, yeah.
And I think that's when Cherry's just like, he basically is saying like, I don't want you to be this guy. Like I love the Matt that you are now,
Mm-hmm.
and don't go back to your old ways, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think Matt at this point he's like, I don't really think I have a choice. So then he goes to church. He goes, but
Yeah,
he doesn't.
just like Foggy, because that's what Foggy was for Matt, and
Mhm.
that's what Cherry's kind of like filling that void right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
but it's a tough
yeah,
void to fill. One,
yeah, it
but
is.
two, it's hurtful to see because now Cherry is reminding him
Yes, dude. And I
of
think
Foggy.
that's why he goes to church. Yeah, for sure,
Yes,
for
but
sure.
notice he doesn't go in. He just listens to the priest
The
from the
service
outside.
from across the street, right?
Right.
He's
And
not
then
even on that side of the street. He's across it. He's trying to distance himself from that so much, dude.
and
And
I
it's
think it's
yeah.
because the priest he used to confess to has passed.
Oh, is that right?
He was murdered in the previous seasons.
That's dude. I totally forgot. I knew I should have rewatched the first 3 seasons. I snoozed on that.
Lucky enough, I had rewatched them at the end of last year,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm maybe like 3 months fresh from watching
Oh,
all
I
the
did.
seasons.
I think I did attempt to rewatch it, but I never went back to it. But yeah, okay.
But yeah, so that was something I caught onto that he didn't go in there, and he always used to confess before. So
Mm-hmm.
Matt kind of snaps out of it, of the like feeling down. He's like, all right, I'm gonna follow this cop. So he starts following the cop that gets away. Um, Fisk and Vanessa end up going to therapy. Um, and Heather is the therapist. We had jumped the gun on that a little bit, but like I was surprised that was the case. So they're kind of going back and forth and talking about the marital problems. Fisk, admits that I was away, and then she goes, "Well, you were away, and I was lonely." And then there's like a pause, and then that's her kind of admitting to why she cheated and why there was another man because
Mm-hmm.
she was lonely, and Fisk was
Yeah.
nowhere to be found, like no contact, no nothing. And then Heather asks them, so why are you here? And
I was totally expecting for that episode to cut right there, and then this session be picked up in the next episode. Were you
no,
surprised that it continued? Were you?
no, well,
That was a good
no,
cliffhanger for it to turn around and see her.
it would have been,
Yeah.
but there was too much time still left on the clock, so I knew it wasn't going to
Well,
happen.
obviously you know that, but had you not looked at that, wouldn't you have thought that that would have been like a good ending for an episode?
No, usually when I get that scare, if I do get that scare, I didn't this time, but if I have
Okay.
gotten that feeling before, I will hit pause to be like, how much time is left? Like, they better not end it right now. You know what I
And you
mean?
didn't think that at this point?
No,
Oh, okay.
there's still too much unknown with because they already showed Matt following this cop, so I knew they were gonna allude to more of that. Um,
Hmm.
but anyways, so the therapist asks, why are you here? And then Vanessa goes, well, I feel like we don't really have a choice because of the optics and stuff like that. Like they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to try to figure it out.
yeah.
And then it's like, I'd like to hear from you, Wilson. Why are you here? He's like, I'm here because I don't want to lose my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Wilson really does love her still, and I don't think Vanessa's in love with him.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, I
She's
totally
checked
agree.
out from a relationship. She's not like at all involved with.
Honestly, and I think her having to take over the empire and having to switch into that mindset has affected that because she was totally in love with Fisk last in the last show, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. I think that has a lot to do with, because she don't even seem like the same Vanessa. Agreed? Like, she seems more Kingpin-esque.
Who, Heather?
Queenpin. No, Vanessa.
Oh
Vanessa
yeah, I
seems
think
more Queenpin. She don't seem like Vanessa.
she's embraced full on the role.
The Queenpin role. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's a bit scary
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
because she's like an efficient version of it, which is, and she's not led by emotion. She's led by
Like Fisk. Yeah. She's got that business end of the mob locked down. She was
yeah,
breaking down numbers before he walked in, and she was even when they were getting emotional, she cut that shit down. She's like, oh, you know, she's like, no, they're right that the Red Hook site doesn't get taxed, and blah blah blah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think she's a little, she's gonna be a problem in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think she makes it out of the season.
Interesting. Okay. You think that causes Kingpin to become Kingpin again?
Yeah,
This
a step away
turn
from being
Kingpin?
there. Yep.
Okay.
Um. So Matt ends up hearing the cops talking about finding the witness, and they're gonna go kill him. So Matt calls Cherry, tells Cherry to there's a plan and to save this guy named Nicky. We don't know that's his name, but I know his name now is Nicky Torres. Another Torres in the MCU. Two Torreses in the MCU.
Yeah, nice.
So he tells him to go. He tells Cherry to go to this park, and he ends up telling Nicky when he gets to the apartment building. He gets in there, and he tells him like, "Hey, look, the cops are coming to kill you. You're my only witness. I need you safe." He ends up having him leave out the fire escape. He gets out, and Matt is there just looking cool, just like standing in the middle of the kitchen as he opens the door, and then they're like, "Who are you? Where is he?" And he's like, he's not here. And then he kind of shoves him and throws him against the wall. And he's like, where is he? He's like, I'm visually impaired, so I'd like to help you, but I'm blind.
Yeah.
He makes that funny joke. And then that's when we see the tattoo. It's the skull, and it's the task force symbol. And that's that they wear that on their bulletproof vests, kind of similar to the Punisher, because they're like,
Yeah.
they love what the Punisher is and what he resembles. And they just kind of get shit done, and they're a little relentless about it. That's why I was saying I think that task force is going to be pretty relevant throughout this whole series.
Yeah, I think that ties into Punisher. That's why Punisher comes into this series, to this season.
Oh, absolutely, because he's probably gonna go to Punisher and be like, "How do I stop this task force?" Like look at
I thought I saw it more as him seeing what they're doing and using his name, kind of, and like he might not like that what they're doing isn't what he goes, like what he stands for.
Oh, fair point. It could go either way.
But I don't know. When we saw that trailer, and when we see Frank Castle, he's not doing well. So we'll see how that turns out. But
yeah. So basically, the way this whole episode just wraps up is they're egging on Matt, and they end up beating up Matt. Both cops. So the original cop from the subway scene, and then a new cop, and then they knock Matt to the ground, and they put a gun to the left of his face. And Matt's like, "Please don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this."
Yeah, you don't want to do this.
He pulls the trigger, or like he cocks the gun and he puts it there. And
well, before that, the guy tells him to do it, and the dude's like, "Dude, are you sure he's a lawyer?" Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he pulls the gun and he goes full Daredevil on them. Just full Daredevil, just breaks one guy's arm, smashes the other one's skull on the ground.
Did he kill that guy?
I think he killed both of them, to be honest with you.
Dude, because he slammed that dude's head from standing up, slammed him down. And I swear I heard that neck crack. I was like, oh,
I think
Daredevil ain't.
I think
He
that
ain't
was just
holding his punches this season, dude.
no. He's full on Andrew Garfield not pulling his punches. Like
Mm-hmm.
he man.
And
Yeah.
what I like about this, dude, what I love about this is you just seen it. This goes back to that fucking conversation he had with Frank Castle. Frank warned him. He goes, dude, he goes, you're gonna end up like this. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you gotta do this. When I put people down, they stay down. When you do it, they get back up. Like, no. He warned him to do. He's like, you're gonna get like this.
Yeah.
And
And
that
that was
might be
something
why he
that
goes back
in
to
the
Frank.
BB report that they mentioned, one of the people that they were interviewing for in the BB report, she's like, the prison system, it's basically a revolving door. They go in and out. And exactly to your point is what you're saying. Like Daredevil is gonna have to make a couple tough decisions to put some people down.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's
Especially with Fisk being at the top of the city.
I don't think he's
But
gonna
yeah, man.
try to kill Fisk.
No.
I think
I'm just saying, like, he might have to put people down because Fisk can just fucking easily get them out or send them on their way again.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was the review for episode 1 and 2. Let us know what you guys are thinking about the season so far, what your guys' expectations are. Throw some theories at us too. We want to hear more theories just besides what me and the nerd with the knowledge come up with. But we are going to be covering episode 3 next, and we may have a special guest on for that one. So stay tuned for that. We're going to try to get a special guest to come in. And it will be somebody you all have not seen yet. So that would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that episode. And Kike, even if you get shot in the chest, dude, I am with you.
To the end of the line, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I just know I will still be with you.
That's tough.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.